Okay. Oh yeah. Good morning, America! It is I, your host, Pogo Kiddo, with another amazing, fantastic, stupendous episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli! Yes, 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 it is I! Wah! Hello, good morning, America. I am here on my vacation. I've been on vacation, like, believe it or not. I didn't go anywhere, but I've been on vacation because, like, I can't handle it. I was so tired from all the nonsense everywhere. I was exhausted. Like, I couldn't even keep up my, like, daily activities, like, of like, laundry and kitchen cleaning and stuff like that. I was just exhausted. So, I took a bunch of time off and, like, just rested. So, it was really, really nice. Yeah, here, today, in Minecraft, I find myself over in, at the northern mine. This is the mine, the iron mine I found in the north. I'm waiting for sundown, which is about now. Because in the mines, I found a poor miner who got, zombified. And I'm gonna save him. That means I have to drag him all the way back. And so if you watched my pirate episode, you'll see the adventure of how I came to have only iron gear again, and how I found this miner and why I didn't bring him back home right away. But yeah, now it's dark, so I can rescue this guy. Come, little man. I'm gonna drag you home. Come on, dude. Here we go. Zombies in Java are pretty smart. I was surprised to find how smart they are. Not this guy, but yeah, in general. Come on, duder. Let's see. It looks dark enough. Oh yeah, let's go home. I'm gonna take you home now, guy. So I made this nice little path. There's the northern mine, the northern iron mine. I made this path because the last time I tried to bring someone home, I got lost. And that was no bueno. Because then he burned, when the sun rose, he burned to death. So you can't save people if they burn to death. So yeah, I made this little deal here. And what's been going on? I think the big news is that Jeffrey Epstein, some guy named Epstein, got busted on state-level charges for child pornography or something like that. Like kitty diddling. Like touching little kids when he's not supposed to. So the big funny thing about that is that he was arraigned, he had federal charges levied against him. But through some deal that Trump had, the dude got off with like nothing at the federal level. So it was a miscarriage of justice, perpetuated by Trump and his friends, of course. But this is being rectified on the state level. So here's the thing about America, like the United States, is that on the federal level, we could be messed. Oh shit. Ah! I gotta go this way. Ah! 3 creepers just chilling to jump me. That was awful. What are you doing, creepers? I'm just trying to get through to save this guy. Ow. Oh, I missed. Alright. This way, come on. Fall down. Alright, where's my guy? Alright, come on, let's go. Come into my house. I welcome you into my house, zombie man. I know you're trying to kill me, but... Oh, there you go. I'm like, where'd you go? Okay, zombie man, let's go. I welcome you into my home, even though you would try to kill me. I understand you are sick. I would cure you, Mr. Zombie Man. You are not so far gone. Come, my little zombie man, before the sun rises. So we're in my home. I have I have made a lot of improvements, but I don't have time to show you. I gotta bring the zombie man back. Come, zombie man. So I made more improvements, I'll show you. I'm trying to bring Mr. Zombie Man back. Yes, look at that. It turned into a compound. my little zombie conversion chamber, like, metamorphosized into something way bigger. Ow, I got the sliding glass door, that's pretty nifty. Uh-oh, I don't have any plates. Oh, I saw some there. Here, I'm gonna move over here. Zombie man, let it put my plates in position. Yes, zombie man. Oh, and you're holding something, right? So I don't have to like name tag you. Okay. So this guy is safe and sound until I gather the resources to convert him. I think I have everything together. I just need to do it. This is my original design. The Happy Menage a Trois pod. This is my breeding pod. Remember these three guys? They're in these pods. I destroyed this pod because I didn't need it anymore. So I needed the room. But yes, I converted these guys from villagers, or from zombies, back into villagers. And now they're sleeping. So 2 of them are unemployed and the third guy's a farmer. So how this works is that since they're unemployed, they just make babies. And it's pretty nice. And the farmer, because he's a farmer, he does farming stuff. So he farms this little plot of land and then gives the carrots over to these guys, which make babies. Then the babies, because they're tiny, they can fit between or underneath these slabs here. And they fit under the slabs, and there's a hole under the slabs that diverts the babies to this little holding pod where they hang out here until I figure out what to do with them. So, and then I was launching them up and bringing them up to this place up here. Which is this little place. It's called Swampy Moe's Trading Post, designed by Avomance. So Avomance showed me how to do this nice little trading post, how to transport. I took the design for the holding pod from Philioth and combined it with this design by Avomance to make this trading post here. Now, all of these guys have no jobs. These purple coats mean they don't have a job yet. But when I throw down a workstation, they get a job, and then I can make trades with them. Like this guy is silk touch, this guy is mending. I don't have any money yet, so I'm still working on making money. Emeralds to trade with these guys. Also, I need to put a roof on this place because this is pretty exposed to lightning storms if ever were to come. That used to be the discotheque, but I took out the DJ and the booth because I have all the records already, so I don't need any more. So yeah, no more DJ over here. I made a bridge over to this island, this next island that I want to reclaim eventually. It's a tiny island, but I can reclaim it and even it out and put some buildings on there. I don't know what I'm gonna put on here. Ow. Yeah, so I'm not wearing god armor. So these skeletons will mess me up. I don't have a great sword, so I can't kill them quickly. I'm gonna go back here. But yes, my breeding hall, I finally cured those villagers. I transformed them into regular villagers. I put them in a breeding pod. They bred a bunch of villagers. And I made my trading post up there, which will make me get god armor eventually. But the other big thing I did, besides all this stuff, here, I'm going to show you this other nice thing I did. You notice how there's no creepers out there? There's no creepers because these cats are guarding. So that helps a lot. No more creepers. Ow. I'm gonna run away. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Alright. So I had to put metal doors on there because I was hanging out here and then like 20 zombies spawned. 20, 30 zombies spawned. They broke down my door and came crashing through here. And it was a mess. So wooden doors do not stop zombies. You have to put a metal door. Zombies cannot bash metal doors down. So that's what I used. So the other big thing I did, and I think this is like the most significant change I made, was I created this iron farm. This is an iron farm. This design is by Ray Works. I don't have the sign up. Make a sign? No, here. I forgot my sign. This is the Day X Iron Farm, designed by Ray Works. Yes, I first learned about this. I mean, you know, there's been a bunch of different iron farm designs put out there by a lot of different people, and some of them are more difficult than others. Plus, they keep changing because the mechanics keep changing for Minecraft. It changed from 1.14.1 to 0.2. Now it's 0.3. It just keeps changing. But this design I think is the simplest and it works really good. So essentially, the way this is set up is that this zombie is holding something. So he's not going to despawn ever. And he's in a cauldron with a thing over his head, so the light won't burn him, and he can't jump out of that cauldron. So he's stuck. He's just there. Now, these 3 villagers, they all have beds and they all have workstations. So that's all they really need to make a village, is beds and a workstation. So they all have jobs, they all have beds. But the way this is supposed to work is that they all can't fit on one bed. They're supposed to fall down. Now, when they're up on this top bed, they can't see the zombie. But when they drop down on this bottom bed, they see the zombie and they start to panic, they freak out. And they tell their other friends, hey guys, there's a zombie here. We need to spawn an iron golem. Do we have an iron golem? No? Let's spawn one to protect us from the zombie right there. So if they're not up on top of that top one, then they'll panic and they'll summon a zombie. But right now they're chilling up in that top one, and I don't know what to do to fix that. But eventually they'll come down, and when they come down, a zombie will spawn, or a golem will spawn down here, and the golem will see the zombie and will just walk over to the zombie to try to hit him, and this will just guide him into the killing chamber. The killing chamber is like at the bottom with magma blocks because in case any slimes jump in there. But this is just your basic. There's water down there. Here, I want to go down in the to look at it differently. So there's water down there, which pushes them over into this spot, which, you know, for the golem, he's 3 tall, so his head's in the lava. For other mobs, they're only 2 blocks tall, but this trap door is put on the bottom slab or the bottom block, so it raises them up like just a little bit, enough to put them in their head into the lava and cook them. And this works really, really good. I mean, it'll kill wandering traders, it'll kill zombies, it'll kill slimes, and of course it'll kill lots and lots and lots of iron golems. I mean, that's been going for 3-4 hours, but, well, longer than that. But yeah, it works great when it works. Sometimes the iron golem will also spawn on the beds. Not sure what to do about that. I put slabs on top of the cauldrons to maybe try to stop that, to see if that will work. But you can see, right, if they fall down, they see the zombie and start to panic. But they have to have some beds where they can sleep, so that, you know, if you don't sleep, then you can't have any villagers. So yeah, the villagers are required to have a job. What? Who's shooting me? Some dude underwater. Really? Come on, skeleton, hop up here. Okay. So they're panicking. They're supposed to summon a zombie here, or an iron golem. Running low on food. I think I have a little bit of meat, but I got baked potatoes. That's what I'm gonna go for. So come on, don't make me look bad. You gotta spawn an iron golem. That happens like all the time. Come on, guy. No, pardon me. This morning air, you know? Alright, well, come on. You're gonna make me look bad now that you're not spawning an iron golem. Well, he will eventually. No, you don't do it now just because I'm recording everything, but great. Alright, so hey, guys, what's going on in terms of the news, the real world? Besides Jeffrey Epstein was arrested for child pornography, he's buddy-buddy with Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, you know, is kind of a child pornographer, or at least well, we know he's been accused of sexual molestation a lot by women. He's been accused of rape a lot, and it's weird how that hasn't been investigated. So he's been accused of rape, of sexual molestation. He's been accused of having like pedophile rings, not from the basement of pizza parlors, but like actual pedophile rings that rich people indulge in. So that's kind of weird. But hey, why, like, what kind of person hangs out with a bunch of pedophiles? I don't understand that. Who does that? Who does that kind of thing? Like, oh hey, look at that! Wow. Donald Trump seems to be really, handsy with his daughter. And he's made a bunch of sexual statements about his daughter. And yeah, that's kind of trippy, don't you think? That's kind of weird. No wonder he seems to endorse pedophiles. Because he tends to be one, it looks like. Oh man. Oh boy. So, that's what's going on. That's a bad thing that's happening. That's a real thing that's going on. Dude, come on. Where's my my zombies here? Where's my iron golem? I swear this works. It worked before. That's how come I have all like that iron. You know, I wonder if it's the bed I put in the other room. I don't think so. But yeah, okay. So that's going on. The other thing that's going on is that the House and the Senate are all on vacation right now. They all went on vacation. Nancy Pelosi has not informed the American people of what's going on yet. So that allows Trump and his companions to paint a horrible narrative and fool all of the American people. And it's really easy because there's a bunch of Americans predisposed to believe in nonsense. Oh, wait a minute, you didn't see that. Okay, here, wait. There's a bunch of people predisposed to believe in nonsense right now. And it's pretty awful. What's the nonsense they believe in? Well, here, let me relate to you my adventures at the Salem Saturday Market. Now, I love the Salem Saturday Market. I think it's a great little place. It's wonderful to get out in the air, see the wonderful vendors, and see all the neat people, all the variations of human expression that you can find. I mean, I really dig it. I mean, I don't I don't care what you look like or who you are. Like, if you're a human, you're pretty cool. Humans are interesting creatures. They're really weird compared to any other animal. Uh, so I see a lot of them at the Salem Saturday Market. A lot of these humans hanging out. But some of them are kind of confused. You can tell that they've been tricked a lot by media, by the bad media they've been ingesting. I talked a lot about poisoning the water supply. When you have an enemy that you can't defeat from the outside, like their city the walls are too big from the city, the army is too strong, you don't have enough of your own army to siege them, to lay siege and starve them out. You can't do that. You can't defeat the army, and they won't leave their fortress city. So if you want to defeat the army enemy like that, when you can't attack them directly and you can't destroy their city or their fortress, the other way you do it is you poison them. You poison them. You find their water supply and you poison it. That way all the defenders die and you can easily take the city because everyone's dead or turned into zombies. Well, that's what's happened to the United States of America. Let me show to you a little blurb I got from a Newsweek thing, a Newsweek posting. I think on the June 27th, Newsweek. Russian President Vladimir Putin has dismissed Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report and investigation, agreeing with President Donald Trump's assessment that the entire probe was, quote, a witch hunt. Quote, we said from the start that Mr. Mueller's notorious investigation would find no evidence, Putin said Tuesday, the Moscow Times reported. Therefore, it was clear to us in advance that it would end up as the mountain gave birth to a mouse, as they say in Russia. The Russian leader then reiterated his position that his country did not interfere in the 2016 election, calling the entire Mueller investigation complete nonsense. He also used a talking point frequently voiced by Trump, blaming the probe on Democrats' unwillingness to accept they had been defeated. So this is Russia, this is Vladimir Putin saying that Robert Mueller is a liar. The entire American justice system, oh, there's a golem, see? The entire American justice system is bunk, and that all the words of all their allies were lies. So that's what they're saying. That's what they believe. That's what Vladimir Putin is saying. And you would not believe how many people I met at the Salem Saturday Market who agree with Putin, who are on Putin's team. They say, yes, Putin, we agree with you. We don't think the United States can do anything. All these other Americans, the American citizens, agree with Putin that the Americans are bad. Okay. See, there's Iron Golem. Puts his head in there. And he burns. Let's see what it looks like underneath. So yeah, he just hangs out until they get thoroughly cooked, and then the iron is deposited in the hopper down there. That way I don't have to go mining for stuff. I can live my life. Okay. I mean, I can build stuff. Look at this great stuff. So a lot of Americans are on board with Vladimir Putin. They say, even though Robert Mueller is an American hero, we think he's a liar, and that if the Russian President Vladimir Putin says he didn't attack us, well, I'm going to believe a Russian president over an American hero. That's what they're saying. So I'm looking at these Americans going, man, you guys are crazy. You guys are nuts. You guys are zombies. You guys got zombified. You're agreeing with Vladimir Putin over the Americans, an American hero. That's what you're telling me. That's gnarly. So I'm like, all right, you crazy people that agree with Vladimir Putin over American heroes. Okay. Well, do you know that Donald Trump has put concentration camps in America. He's running concentration camps. So all of these Americans are telling me, no, 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 there are no concentration camps in America. Those aren't concentration camps. You're crazy. I'm like, wow, that's gnarly. Little kids, parents with their kids walking by, holding their children, are saying, oh, those aren't concentration camps where we're putting those kids. Those aren't concentration camps. I asked them, well, then would you put your child in that concentration camp? Would you put your child there? And of course, they say nothing. They won't say anything. Because, because, no, they wouldn't do it. They know it's a concentration camp. No, they wouldn't put their kids there. They don't have to answer because I already know the answer. La la la. Okay, good. Where'd my music go? No, 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 not him. I'm gonna get back to that. Yeah, I played that on the 4th of July. I played the speech by John F. Kennedy. See, they spawn off the platform sometime. I don't get that. He'll eventually come over, but I don't understand why he spawns off the platform. I might have to make the platform bigger. I mean, that's 5. That's 8. Maybe 9. So I just don't get it. So we have these concentration camps, and these people are telling me those aren't concentration camps, but they won't put their children in there. They wouldn't do it. So I'm like, then, oh yeah, see, look how smart these zombies are. Look at, he walks around the hole. Look how smart he is. Right? And he'll switch sides trying to get me. He avoids the hole. Well, that guy didn't, but I was waiting. He's getting quick. He's not in the lava, but those hot blocks underneath are hurting him. They won't put him in. So America is running these concentration camps. We have a bunch of Americans acting like Nazis, denying the concentration camps. And then here's the next best thing. The next thing that's awesome. It's so funny. They all say, while defending the concentration camps, they all say, well, Obama did it first. Therefore, it's okay. Wow. So I can't wait till they go up and meet their creator, whether it be Jesus or Buddha or Shiva or whoever, or Muhammad, or not Muhammad, but or Allah, or whoever their dude is, whoever their God, what they call their God. I can't wait till they go up to their God and say, their God's like, oh yeah, hey, check this out. It says here that you supported the concentration camps in America. And then they're going to say, oh, don't worry about them. Obama did it first, so it's cool. It's cool, God. You know, I can support concentration camps because Obama did it first. It's not so bad because Obama did it first. Number one, do you think if Obama had concentration camps that people would be quiet about it? No, dude. I was yelling like a crazy man about the drone strikes when Obama was president. But the problem was, none of the Republicans cared about the drone strikes. The Republicans were all about the war. They didn't care at all. No, what made Republicans angry was the fact that Obama tried to give health care to everyone. That made them angry. That shows you what they're really about. They don't really care about war and death. They care about giving poor people health care. They don't want that. Look how smart the zombie is. And see, he's gonna try to get out, but too late, dude. Too late. So I'm just gonna watch all the So just to be a good sport, I went ahead and I read up about this accusation that Obama made the concentration camps first. Therefore, it's okay if Trump does it. Watch this Slime, come here. These guys are fun. Come on, slime, come get me. Here I am, come on. Kill me. Look how smart they are, watch. So he's going down there, but he's a slime. He's like, I'm a tough mother. I don't just fall in holes. So everyone's in there now, and that golem's just going to town, helping to clear out the slime before he goes in. So yeah, this way I get lots of drops with no work. I just hang out here and it all works out. So not bad, not a bad haul, just for chilling out. I could probably make it even better by enclosing it and making it a mob farm, making it dark inside. But yeah, so everyone's saying, what about Obama? What about Obama? Obama had concentration camps, so it's okay if we have concentration camps. Well, I looked it up. Obama never had concentration camps. What they're talking about was this program that Obama had for a while. What happened was drug dealers in Mexico would recruit young children and teenagers. These young teenagers would smuggle in drugs over and over and over again, like 30 times. They'd keep getting caught. So eventually, Obama's like, look, these same kids are getting recruited and caught by these and paid by these drug dealers to go to do bad stuff, to bring drugs into our country. Let's capture these kids and interrogate them for a little bit, get some information so we can figure out what's going on here. That is the program they're pointing to. It wasn't indefinite detention. It wasn't imprisonment without a crime. It was repeat offenders who Obama said, all right, let's try to work this out and see if we can figure out a way to stop this. So that is what they're calling concentration camps. Obama did it first. That is what they're pointing to when they say, oh, we can do it because Obama did it. Well, Obama never did it. It was never the same deal. It was never separation like that. Not family separation like they're doing. Not making orphans out of whole families. Not putting them into concentration camps. It was never anything like that. Never. Never. So when the denialists come by and say Obama did it first, they're full of crap. Someone's been lying to them and they eat the lies up. They've been poisoned and turned into zombies because they're willing to turn away all of our American values. They're willing to just toss them aside by saying Obama did it first. Like, are you okay? Are you sure you're American? Because it doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter what we did first or who did what first. The fact is it's wrong. It's wrong then. It's wrong now. But Obama never did it. So there's nothing to be wrong about. Like, that's the thing. Oh, man. So I saw white people defending Obama. But I would see a lot of Hispanics. There was at least one Hispanic family with their kids in tow saying, those aren't concentration camps. Dude, you're Hispanic. They're targeting you. What do you mean that's not a concentration camp? I mean, they're doing it to you on purpose. Yeah, I don't know. So, well, we're making farms here. We're making gold or iron there. I'm gonna go back in here to the Menage a Trois pod. Just got a bunch of people in there hanging out. Sometimes, if I want to like speed it along, I'll toss in extra carrots. Have some more food, guys. I want you to reproduce more. And so, I don't think they will because all the beds are taken up. But if they have extra food, they'll be set. They'll be ready. And this is put there so I don't accidentally fall in, because I'll do that. So yeah, I just toss them food. Eventually they'll love each other, but I don't think they'll make any babies yet. So it's funny. Sometimes these two will love each other. Sometimes these two will love each other. It doesn't matter. Sometimes all three of them will love each other. It's really interesting to see how they interact. All three of them it'll be like a menage a trois. So who's the father? Who's the mother? Who knows? Who cares? I can't even tell what sex they are. It doesn't seem to matter. They all hang out and they all make a baby. So it's nice. Yeah, I just gotta feed them and then they'll make extra babies. So I got 3, 4 in there. Yeah. And then I can go bring them and make another village somewhere else. Or I can make a mob farm or all sorts of stuff I can make. Because I can put them in a... This thing here, it magically puts them into a minecart. And that's been the hardest part, is putting them in a minecart. If you can't put them in a minecart, it's really hard for me to move them around. But with a minecart, I can control everything. Yay! I can't get mobs in the minecarts, but I can get those guys in. My little kitties guarding against creepers. Thank you, kitties. I've had such problems here. I've planted a bunch of sugar cane because I need paper. Now that I have a bunch of things to trade, I realize my farms are pretty weak. I need better farms. So I'm going to make an automatic crop farm where villagers automatically grow crops for me. That way I don't have to worry about crops. I can tear down that ugly farm over there. I'm going to eventually make this pretty. I could turn this whole thing into a farm or into a village. But I don't want to interfere with the iron farm. So I'm not sure how that'll work out. Yeah. So it's working out. I've got my little conversion chamber to convert zombies back into humans, and then the humans help make iron to help combat more zombies. And then we have a fortress with cats to guard from creepers. So I think it's working out pretty nice. And then we have a nice little habitat pod to help grow our village, and then we have our zombie conversion chamber to help convert zombies. This here, I finally made an elevator down to the to our skeleton farm. I have a skeleton farm now, and I traded the wandering trader for some ice, so we can't see it. I covered it up to make it all dark. But yeah, I finally put glacial ice there. So now the skeletons will slide easily into the water. No more bottleneck there anymore. So that's nice. Look at this. Boop. Easy. Easy peasy. They get stuck there sometimes, but then they're nudged over. Yeah, no more hanging out at the ice thing. They just slide. Hello, my little zombie. Where'd you come from, zombie? So I have a door. So yeah, and these guys just come in. So later on, when I want to make Uber armor, I'll come back here because I don't have a gold farm yet. I'm not at the end yet. But yeah, this is a lot more consistent with the ice, and now that it's fully closed in, so it's dark. Yeah, they go up there and they come down here. Super nice. And if I want to mine at level Y11, that's just like right here. What I really need to do is like clear all this out. Now that I've gotten I can start making mending pickaxes. I can make lots of changes. When you're using iron tools, it's slow going. I love this iron farm. Thank you, Rayworks. This is great. This is great iron farm. Bedrock doesn't have any kind of good iron farms, but Java, yeah, Java is awesome. It makes me want to make other farms. Oh yeah, here, let me show that one by Avomance, the other farm I made real quick. Yeah, so I made this farm by Avomance. It's just your basic sugarcane farm. It grows, and once it hits level 3 with the observer, all these pistons fire off. And underneath, I have a hopper cart running back and forth to pick up all the sugarcane. And then it's brought over here, where it's deposited in my little deal there. So it takes a while to build up this many. But since I'm not really doing anything, I'm just standing here when it happens, it's not so bad. I also made a map. I helped map out what's going on here. Oh, my bridge is not on there. Yeah, it's on there now. Okay. So this is the other thing I like about Java, is that you can put maps on the ground, and it makes it a lot easier. So, and then you can leave, so that marker there, swamp base, if you come over here, that is this banner. This banner is swamp base. So it leaves marks on the map. So you come over here, there's swamp base, there's my farm, there's my iron farm, there's my trading hall / zombie conversion chamber. If you go under, there's my tower. If you go on through the mountain, come out the back end of the mountain under the ridge, then you take this little path through the woods, along the pond, over the bridge, through the path that I carved through the woods, and then you get to iron base, the iron mine, which is right there. And that's where I rescued the zombie. I carried him all the way over here. I had to build this across, underground, through my base, across the swamp base, into here, and into the conversion chamber, which I'll change him eventually. I made a bridge. That's the old zombie island. This is the new island. And eventually I'll connect this one to this island. And that way we'll have the whole swamp, this part of the swamp, connected. And then I can start filling in and protect and restoring the land. And then I'll have access to the highlands. Yay! And that's south. So this is north and that's south. And down here eventually, way over here, is going to be an ocean, which I'll hook up to eventually, because I love oceans. And this is not an ocean, this is like a lake. And that's all woods up there, which I have to chop down because I need more trees. I guess I can chop down my ridge here. I'm out of wood. So what else is going on? Nancy Pelosi went on vacation. She hasn't told anyone anything. That's why all this misinformation is spreading. That's why people are coming up to me and saying there's no concentration camps. That's why people are coming up to me and saying Robert Mueller didn't find anything in his report. And then I ask them, have you read the report? They're like, no, but I listen to people and that's what they tell me. You dummy. Don't listen to what people tell you. Read the report yourself. Don't you don't have to read the full 400-page report. Just read the executive summaries. That'll give you a nice picture. That'll clear your mind of any misconceptions. What are the misconceptions I hear? People tell me that, the Mueller report didn't find any collusion. And then I have to explain to people, no, it didn't find collusion because it said that's not what we're looking for. Collusion is not a legal term. Robert Mueller went by the letter of the law when Rod Rosenstein gave him his directives. His directives said specifically, look for conspiracy, look for broken laws, and you have to establish it. You can't just say whatever. You have to establish it. If you can't establish it, it doesn't count. Establishing a crime means you need 100% proof of everything. And if anyone lies or destroys evidence, that means you cannot establish whatever it is. You have all the evidence pointing to it, but you can't establish it. So what I'm saying is that if people lied or destroyed evidence, that means you can't establish a conspiracy. You can't do it. So the first thing that we need is a connection, a solid connection between Russia and the Trump campaign to establish conspiracy. Well, their connection to Russia was through George Papadopoulos, who was convicted by the FBI of lying. And what did he lie about? George Papadopoulos lied about his relationship with a guy named Joseph Musfid. Joseph Musfid was an academic that had ties to Russia. He was the Russian handler. He was the contact. He was the guy that was going to establish the conspiracy between Trump and Russia. The problem is George Papadopoulos lied about who Joseph Musfid was. This allowed Joseph Musfid to lie to the FBI when they interviewed him. Then Joseph Musfid left the country, and now nobody can find where he is. Nobody knows where he is. This academic who lied to the FBI about who he was, about his connection to Russia, disappeared. Now, if you notice, a lot of the other people close to Putin who were involved in the conspiracy, they all died. They all mysteriously died. They got murdered by assassins. All of them. So bit by bit, Putin's been covering his tracks. So Joseph Musfid was one of their dudes who escaped. And now the FBI can never question him. Number one, because he's out of the country. Number two, because he's dead. So Robert Mueller can never establish his conspiracy because the key guy in it is dead. And if you listen to the felon, the co-conspirator, George Papadopoulos, he's lying now too. Now that he's out of prison, he's lying about it. So, okay, if you listen to a guy named Seth Abramson, he wrote a book, and he's going to release another book. And in this book, he talks about a way bigger conspiracy, way bigger than just Russia and Trump. Seth Abramson will talk about Saudi Arabia, Israel, United Arab Emirates, I think Qatar, Turkey. That's the other one, Turkey. So he'll tell you about a grand bargain that all these guys wanted to remake the Middle East in their image, which is authoritarian and not at all democratic. I haven't done enough research or read his book enough to be able to talk about that too strongly, but I believe the guy. I believe Seth Abramson. I believe he knows what he's talking about. Because we already know that Michael Flynn was an agent for Turkey when he was working for the federal government. He was actually working for Turkey because he wanted to help Turkey out, to help them solidify their authoritarian regime. Remember, Mike Flynn was tasked in kidnapping an American resident and delivering him to Turkey where they would kill him. We already know this. We already know that Kushner, Jared Kushner, gave top secret information to Saudi Arabia so they could find and trap and kill one of their dudes who lived in America, who had American protection and then was betrayed by the United States. That happens a lot, it seems like. So this is... We already know that there's this huge conspiracy going on involving more than Russia. But you don't even need to look at the people that are more than Russia. There's this guy named George Nadler, who was also deep in this conspiracy, who's in custody, he's the guy who was involved with the Russian spy at the NRA. There was a Julia, there was a Russian spy working at the NRA, helping to launder Russian mob money through the NRA to feed to Russian operatives, Russian candidates, or not Russian, GOP candidates running against other Americans. So Russian mob money was being laundered through a Russian spy in the NRA to then give to GOP candidates to defeat their non-Russian mob money receiving Democratic opponents. So George Nader is in this big time, and he's already in custody, and we're going to learn more about him in a bit. I don't know much about it, but Seth Abramson keeps pointing to him and screaming his head off, and so I believe him. Seth Abramson's been pretty on the ball about this whole thing this entire time. Now it's out 5. Like, how is it that it's spawning so far out? Should I put another row of blocks out here? Do I have dirt? Not enough. So we have so we know all this bad stuff is going on, but the average American does not know what the hell is happening. They have no idea because Nancy Pelosi has been terrible at stupid baby zombies, dude. Hey, baby zombie, come on, jump in there. They're smart. They run around, dude. Look at that. See, they're not dumb like bedrock zombies. These zombies are intelligent. Look at this. He escaped. He escaped my trap. Ha ha ha. Look at that. Yeah. I go for it, Iron Golem. All right. Ooh, bright. So Nancy Pelosi is kind of messing up here. She's not telling the American people what they need to know. And because she's failing to do that, then the Republicans can spread their, and the Russians can spread their disinformation and confuse all the Americans. Because I see it. I go to the Saturday market and Americans have betrayed their ideals. They side with Vladimir Putin against American heroes. They repeat debunked talking points. They defend concentration camps with the misinformation. They don't know what's happening. Right? You know, I don't want to say they're bad people, but they're failing. These Americans are failing at thinking. They're defending concentration camps and abandoning American ideals to serve Vladimir Putin. It's messed up. Things are messed up. I'm out there all the time trying to tell people, and like a lot of them just don't get it. And so I try to shock them. I try to shock them out of their complacency. I talked to one woman who was trying to tell me that, trying to talk God to me, trying to talk Jesus to me. And I'm like, woman, you are defending concentration camps in the name of Jesus. You are crazy. You are crazy. And so I called her a Nazi, and she's like, oh, how dare you call me a Nazi? That is uncalled for. I'm like, no, it's not. It's perfectly called for. You're a Nazi. You're being a Nazi. You're being a Nazi who's invoking the name of Jesus to defend Nazis. Wow! Wow! It is entirely appropriate that I call you a Nazi, because that's what you're doing. Oh, I can't believe these people. A nice white woman and her white husband, well off. They're rich. They're not. I wouldn't say they're rich, but they're well off. They weren't in suffering in any way. Telling these poor refugee children in concentration camps, that's what Jesus wants them to do. Wow, dude. Wow, you're nuts. Holy crap. I can't wait till you tell Jesus that in person. I can't wait. It'll be hilarious. Oh, it's cool, Jesus. Obama did it first. Hey, Jesus, you got crucified and tortured? It's okay. It's okay. Pontius Pilate did it earlier. It doesn't matter what happened to you because this already happened. Therefore, it's excused. Pontius Pilate already murdered and tortured people. Therefore, we don't care anymore. Wow. All right, all right. So no, I'm not here for that. I don't really want to kill people. I don't really want to harm people. But I don't want them to harm others either. All right? It's bad that you're stealing kids. Like yeah, this is, so I'm playing Minecraft and that's kind of what I'm doing, but I'm not stealing kids to torture them. I'm guiding children to into professions, which I'll eventually give them. Because I recognize that it's about the town. It's not about the individual. I mean, there's different levels. The individual is important. The individual, you don't want the individual to suffer and die because the town is made up of individuals. But you have to also remember the town is important. Your community, your city, your town is important. And the thing that holds it together is infrastructure and shared values, a shared story. If we don't have a shared reality, then it's really hard to make decisions about how we are going to move forward as a group. If you're working from that information and your worldview is something completely divorced from reality, then that's going to cause lots and lots of problems, which we already see happening. You need a good, strong community that's working on a shared story to make sure that, all right, we're all looking at the same direction, we're all moving to the same direction. The problem is we have this group of people who have been poisoned, and they think it's over there, and they're looking over there. And they're saying concentration camps and ethnic cleansing is the way to go. And that's no, it's not, dude. No, you are divorced from what Americans are about moving forward, which is, if you read the Declaration of Independence, is that all humans are created equal. We all have equal rights under the law, and the law is king. We have no king but the law. And if anyone tries to place themselves above the law, it is our duty as Americans to knock them down. No one is above the law. So we need to because again, this group of Americans, we push to assert the rule of law and our shared values. This other group is trying to destroy the rule of law and impose authoritarianism, fascism, ethnic cleansing through concentration camps. No. We need to they either need to get on board with what Americans are about, or they need to get out of here. Because that's not what we're about. If you insist on pushing your Nazism, we're going to kick you out. We're going to get rid of you. So you're on board or you're out. I mean, it's not a controversial topic. It's not a big deal. It's not like Americans are confused about what it means to be American. No, we know pretty well, right? And there are people out there trying to confuse you, to make you forget what we're about, but you can't let it happen. You got to remember your values. And you gotta make sure you're not drinking poison water. So make sure you look. All right, America. So we're moving to something bigger, and it's always been this problem: the white supremacists within America, as represented by the Confederacy, as represented in the modern day by the GOP, by the Republicans. Their view of the world is ethno-nationalism. It's fascism for white people, which is kind of a joke because fascism doesn't really serve anyone, because they'll turn on white people just as soon as they run out of scapegoats. The problem with fascism is that it always requires a scapegoat, and when you run out of scapegoats, you have to find a new one. So for the German Nazis, what they did was they killed the trade unionists, they killed the academics, they killed the mentally handicapped, they killed the physically handicapped, they killed the gays, they killed the Catholics. Then they were like, well, not the Catholics yet, but they killed all these guys, and then they're like, man, we're running out of people to kill, out of demonize. Well, who else can we pick? Oh yeah, the Jews. They're historically persecuted. We'll just pick them again. So they picked Jews. So like when they ran out of Jews, they were gonna pick someone else. Like that's the thing. Fascist Nazis are terrible, and they always need a scapegoat. So just because You're one of the cool guys now. Doesn't mean you're gonna be the cool guy all the time. Fascists will turn on you, and they will persecute you just as much as they'll do anyone else. Like, your turn is coming. It's not you in the concentration camps yet. Remember your American values. Remember what it took to get us to this point. A lot of blood, a lot of suffering, a lot of tragedy. But it's because of that sacrifice and that suffering to bring us what we have now. It's because of that we cannot just give up and roll over. We have to fight. We have to resist. This is what we're about. All of history is what brought us to this moment. And we cannot just toss it aside like it's meaningless. So yeah, we may be betrayed by Nancy Pelosi. She may be trying to save Donald Trump like she saved George W. Bush. But we can't let that discourage us, because eventually we'll get rid of Nancy Pelosi and get some real people in there, get real leaders. Like Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, they're old, they're gone. They're from another time period. They can't comprehend what it's like nowadays. So yeah, they might have a death grip right now in the party, but eventually they're gonna lose it. They can't hold on forever. Just as the Democratic Party is not a monolith. Like, I'm really pissed off at the corporate Dems, which Nancy Pelosi is part of. Like, I can't stand them. That's why I'm not a Democrat, because I can't stand them. I can't stand the Democrats with their old school way of thinking. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's rad. She is the one who is on board. There's another Tlaib. She's awesome. She's great. I forgot her name. Omar, she's awesome. These are the Hakeem Jeffries, he's awesome. These are the Democrats that are the future. These are the ones that it's about. Nancy Pelosi represents an old time that doesn't exist anymore. That's why she's gonna preserve Donald Trump. She's saving Donald Trump in service to this old idea of what things the way it used to be. Why is he standing up there? Come on! Oh, he fell in. It was only temporary. So, but it's clear what's going on. It's really clear. Donald Trump's failed attempt at hijacking the 4th of July it failed because no one really went along with it. And number 2, Russia used it as propaganda against the United States. Of course, they use every failing of our president as a reason to say, look how democracy doesn't work. Look what a failure it is. Liberalism. The idea that humans can govern themselves. Look what a failure it is. Donald Trump represents a failure of liberal America of Americans to govern themselves. So yeah, the Russian oligarchs are going to use it as propaganda. Of course, Donald Trump is the worst failing of liberalism in a long time. Donald Trump represents the opposite of liberal America. He represents fascism. And I'm not talking liberalism like liberals in college. I'm talking about liberalism, classic liberalism. The idea that humans are equal and that they can govern themselves with reason and rationale, and that humans have the capacity to figure things out on their own. That is the idea that America represents. That humans are capable of doing this. That they're capable of self-governing. And Russia, the oligarchs, represent the opposite. Humans are incapable of doing this, so therefore they require a strong leader to guide them. Yeah, that's not true. So, again, you're needed at this moment of time. You need to pick which side of history you're going to be on, because that's where we're on. I just heard my door open. There's nobody there. All right, that's why I don't put these in. Oh, it was a cat. A cat walked out. Another cat just went for a swim. Oh. Yeah, I don't have any fish, so it's a wild cat. Oh, ha ha ha, Mr. Slime. Oh yes, slime. Feel the water. Feel the pull of the water. Ah! Thanks, Golem. So yeah, and like I think it's something worthwhile. I'm a product of this great America. I think it's something that's worth fighting for. We have a lot of great stuff here, and we've contributed a lot of awesome things to the humans, human society, the human genome project. I don't know, the human instrumentality project. I think America's been, I mean, yeah, it's been messed up, a lot of it, but we have the potential to create great things for everyone, to spread goodness to all of humanity. We have this potential. And we have to recognize that we have not only that we have the potential, but we have to defend this from forces that would see us gone, that would see us disappear for their own profit. So the oligarchs don't even want us; they hate us. For sure, the oligarchs hate us because we represent the opposite of what they want. They want concentrated power in the hands of the few, and Americans want to diffuse the power into the people, where it's spread around. We don't want concentration of power. So just remember who you are and what you stand for, and we'll make it through this. All right, America, thank you for hanging out and listening. Thank you for checking out my various contraptions in Minecraft. It took a long time to make this, but it was neat. And I will catch you next time. Okay, peace. Pogo Kiddo out.